Okay, so before I move on to the next CTF, like finding flags and attacking the machine, before I move on to that, there is just one website that I wanted to mention and show you guys here, which is, of course, in a similar vein as other challenge websites that we've seen. So this is known as defendtheweb.net. Okay, so you just create an account and sign in. Go to the playground section. Go to the playground section. So there are a few challenges here, few puzzles that you can solve. Okay, so start here and move forward. So it says these are designed to challenge yourself, seek the correct information. So you need to figure out, in this case, you need to figure out a username and a password. Okay, so go to view page source because we have nothing else here, no other details. This is not your account password, this is the username password to solve this puzzle. So the best thing to do is view the source code if you have nothing else to look upon. So let's do that. And if you look at this source code, okay, you'll see that there is a comment here with the username and password that you require. So let's try this out. Username and password as well. So you try to log in. Okay, so it says you have completed this challenge. Similarly, there are others as well, and they have separated these challenges into categories as well here. So if you're looking for, let's say, challenges related to SQL injection or steganography or cryptography, whatever topic you want, if it's present here, you can just look at that. Okay, so let's say I look at cryptography challenges. So I'll come here. Now it says decrypt the following text. So can anyone decrypt it and tell me what the answer would be in this case? Try to figure out, just look at this text, try to figure out what the possible solution could be. No one? Just try, just read it. See if you can figure out just by reading it. No one. Okay. Just try reading it in reverse. So if you read it in reverse, the password that you'll find is WooCrypt, which is WOCRYPT. WooCrypt. Invalid login. Let me see. Maybe I entered it incorrectly. Okay. So now it says you have completed the challenge. Similarly, there are other challenges that you can solve. There's stuff on steganography and even coding, of course, the JavaScript stuff. So you can try this out. And okay, the name of the website is defendtheweb.net. Okay, I'll just copy this link and give it to you in the chat so you can access it. Okay, now I'll move on to the CTF portion. So there is a website that I mentioned known as TryHackMe. We'll be working on that, and you should also sign up there, create an account. Okay, and basically what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to solve challenges, like you'll be able to solve CTFs, and you won't have to download anything. You won't have to download any separate VMs and stuff. It's all cloud based. Okay, so there is this website, TryHackMe. Just go there, sign up, and all you'll have to do is you go to the access section, and you'll have to download a configuration file. After you do that, all you need to do is simply run this command. Okay, this command, it says sudo openvpn, and then provide the path to that file, to the configuration file that you download. So when it runs, what will happen is you get connected to their network via VPN, and you can access any VM or any machine that you will deploy there on their network. So currently I'm connected to this, and this IP is my IP on that network, on the TryHackMe network. So when you connect, you'll also see some IP here, which will be your own IP. Now, okay, so challenges on this website, they are divided into different rooms. Now, the first room that I'll be showing you here is known as Anthem, and it is based on Windows. So we are going to do this CTF, Anthem CTF, and it's a Windows one. So we haven't really hacked into any Windows system. We haven't really done any challenges for Windows. So we are going to try that now. So when you enter any room, you deploy the machine that is associated with it. It takes a little while before it deploys properly, like it may take a few minutes. And once that is done, you then access it. And after you connect, you can even check your IP. So this is the fourth adapter that it shows you, which is your tunnel connection, your VPN connection to their network. This is your IP, and you can verify you can check this to verify that you are properly connected there. Okay, so we've deployed this machine. Let's read through the description quickly. So it says this task involves you paying attention to details and finding the keys to the castle. Okay, this room is designed for beginners. Everyone is welcome to try it out. Enjoy the anthem. You don't need to brute force any login page. Just your preferred browser and remote desktop. Okay, remote desktop protocol or RDP. Are you guys familiar with this? Have you ever used this previously?
No, sir.
No? Okay. So, see, remote desktop protocol, I'll just give you, explain to you in brief what it is. It is a protocol which allows you to remotely access a Windows system via a command line like interface. Like you'll be able to properly have a desktop and work on it just like you do on a Windows system if you have physical access. So the difference is you're just accessing it remotely. And like you have SSH on Linux, which allows you to get command line access. RDP allows you to get proper desktop access, graphical user interface, the kind of interface you are familiar with Windows. You can use that on a remote system using this remote desktop protocol or RDP, as it's commonly known. So when you do that, you can remotely work on a Windows system. But of course, you will need the credentials for an account on that system first in order to be able to connect using RDP. So you will need a username and a password for it. Okay, so okay, we'll see further as we go through this CTF. Now, in on this website, on this Try Hack Me website, some cases a lot of things here are in a question answer format. Okay, so in this case, the first thing it tells us is let's run nmap and check what ports are open. Okay, now we already know the IP, so we don't have to try and figure it out. I'm just going to copy it and nmap. I'm going to say paste it here. So we run an nmap scan, try to figure out what's going on this system first. Okay, so the scan results are in, and we can see that there are a few ports open. How many? 5 open ports within these scan results. So there is one port open for HTTP, which tells us there is a web server running. And of course, there is SMB open here as well. And there is one more port, 3389, which is open. Can anyone tell me what that is for?
Option 3389, sir.
Yeah, 3389.
It's a protocol of remote desktop, sir.
Yes, it's RDP or remote desktop protocol. Now, we don't currently have any credentials for the system. We don't really know anything about it. So RDP is out of the question. for the moment. Okay, if I want, I can do a more in-depth scan, a more thorough scan by specifying all ports, but this is actually going to take a lot of time. I've tried this before as well, and it's not going to give you any good results. Now, of course, one thing you can do is you can run a service version detection scan, try and figure out a little bit more detail about these services that are running. Okay, so we have Microsoft HTTP API. Okay, this does not really give us a lot of information. If you come back to THM, it says let's run nmap, check what ports are open, no answer needed. What port is for the web server? So now I've already done this previously, so all the answers are typed in already. What port is for the web server? Port 80. So when you answer questions, you get points, you rank up. That's the kind of progression system on this website. What port is for remote desktop service? We see seen that 3389 is open. That is for the remote desktop service. Now, another thing that we need to do is now we need to start working on this machine, start working on how to get into it, how to get the passwords and stuff. So what should my next step be? What should I do next? I already know what ports are open. I've seen that there is a web server. So I'll start by going to the web server. Okay, so we reach a website and the domain is anthem.com. Okay, so what is one of the first things we do when we are looking at, getting into ways to hack a website? What is the first thing we do when we are targeting a website? Or one of the first things that we do, one of the first pages that we look for? No, no answers. Come on. See, when we all target a website, we always try to look for this robots.txt. Okay, so it gives us some details. It's telling us a few of the directories. So disallow bin config umbraco, something known as umbraco, and umbraco client. And there is something here. Umbraco is the best now. It Any idea as to what this might be? No. Okay. So we currently don't even know what this is related to, but okay, it it has been put in this robots.txt file, so it must have some significance. Now let's check out these URLs that we found: bin config umbraco and umbraco client. First, let's check out bin. Nothing there. Config just it takes us back to the web page. Sorry, the original website. So again, nothing useful so far. Umbraco. Okay, this looks like it might be something. And it's a login page. Now we found a password or what looked like a password in the robots.txt file. So if you come back to the questions, and it says what is a possible password in one of the pages web crawlers check for. So it says Umbraco is the best. This is a possible password that we found. Let me just copy this and try to log in here. Let me just see if I can log in as the admin. Either I can try this password or maybe I try something default, or let's say first I try with administrator as well. No, maybe administrator and administrator itself, or maybe it's just admin. I don't know. Let's see. Login failed. Okay, so we don't really have the credentials for this login portal. And it's a part of Umbraco. Okay, if I just Google Umbraco, what that is, let's see. So if I Google it, it tells me that it's an open source CMS or content management system, which is basically sort of a backbone for a website. It's used to manage the content of a website, just like the name suggests, CMS. So this is the CMS that this website is doing using. So for the next question here, what CMS is the website using? The answer is Umbraco. What is the domain of the website? Okay, domain is. Can anyone tell me what is the domain of the website? Domain is simply anthem.com. That's the domain. So domain is anthem.com. That's it. What's the name of the administrator? Okay. Next question is what is the name of the administrator? Now we don't really know any details about users or administrators on the system or on the website. So Currently, none of those details are known to us. Let's see. Okay, let's check out these posts. Okay, one of the posts says we are hiring high readers, we are hiring so and so. Okay. And the author of this post is Jane Doe. Okay, so there is one user here, Jane Doe, but that's it. We don't really know whether this is the admin account or not, or whether that is the name of the admin. There is no such indication. Okay, let's move on and let's try reading the second article. It says, cheers to our IT department during our hard times. Our beloved admin managed to save our business by redesigning the website, as we all around here know. Yeah, so decided to write a poem about the admin. Okay, so this could give us an idea about the admin. So this is a small poem. He born on a Monday, Krishna don't use this one. So this is a poem, and it says that this person has written the poem about the admin. So from this poem, can anyone identify who the admin is or the name of the admin from this poem itself? It has been, I mean, this poem has been referenced quite a bit in pop culture. So you may have come across it, you might not have come across it again. But of course, if you don't know, you just Google it, and it tells you that the name associated with it is Solomon Grundy. So that is, in this case, the hint and the name of the admin. So what's the name of the administrator? Solomon Grundy. Now it says, can we find the email address of the admin? Okay, so we don't know the email admin, email address of the admin. So if I go back to this post, I think there was an email address in here. We are hiring. It says that if you have an interest in being a part of the movement, send me your CV at jd@anthem.com. But this is not the admin's email. Okay, this is the email for this Jane Doe person, and it is jd@anthem.com. Based on this information, what could be the email for the admin? See, for this person, Jane Doe, her email is jd@anthem.com. So it's just the initials JD and @ domain name. Now, in any organization, email IDs, okay, official email IDs follow the same format for everyone. So if you have someone known as Solomon Grundy, their initials would be SG, and the email would be sg@anthem.com. So that is the case, sg@anthem.com. Okay, so that's the end of this first task. That is, it says the next is to spot the flags. Now these are not the user flags or the root flags. Okay, these are just some flags that have been scattered throughout the website. So our beloved admin left some flags behind that we require to gather before we proceed to the next task. So these are just flags that are present on the website itself. Okay, these are not your user flag or root flag, which is a part of every CTF. So where should we start looking for it? Okay, I'll just start. So in a website, okay, the best place to start looking is always the source code itself. So now for this page, okay, let's just go back to the main page. Let's see the source code, see if we can find anything. The source code, okay. Okay, I already see one flag here. Does anyone else see it? Okay, so in the source code, this is one of the flags. Okay, THM get good. This is one flag. If I come back here, okay, there is a total of four flags. Okay, so if we still need to look for the other three, we just found one so far. Just going to close this now. Now let's take a look at these pages, see if we can find anything. Nothing here. What about the source code? Okay, here is another flag. So two down and there's two to go. If I go to this page, scroll down, there's one flag here. Let's see if we can find something here, and that's your final flag. So we found these four flags that were a part of the website. Now the next thing we'll have to do is okay, why is it not open? Okay, so let's get into the box using the intel we gathered. Let's figure out the username and password to log into the box. Now, when it says log into the box, that means login via RDP, via remote desktop protocol. Okay, so okay, we'll continue with this in the next session where we'll use RDP, log into the system, and work on getting the user and the root flag. Meanwhile,